heroes will look up and shout, "Save us." And I'll whisper, "No."
Now, 2 words. Blue penis.
Oh, yeah.
Is
Is that your rock band? I love them. They're great.
Hey, that would make a good band name. Blue penis. Copyright.
That's like a Watchmen band.
Watchmen cover. They're doing the music from the film. Covers of.
Yeah, covers of Watchmen.
So there's money to be made there.
BP.
How much of a struggle was it to get the blue penis?
I mean, it's, look, we try to keep it to a minimum, as much as we can, but I think it's symbolic. It's like important to say, like, look, this is an adult movie. This is like adult ideas.
Try not to make it overt, but if it was missing, people would notice it was missing.
Oh, for sure. It's like, and also that, Manhattan is a man, he's like, there's a love scene with him and Laurie, it's like, I felt like I had to figure that out and make that work.
Another thing that always happens with superhero movies, adapting the costumes from how they look on the page to make them believable on the screen, and sometimes they get it right and sometimes they get it wrong. Was that a really hard thing to...
It was hard, because again, we wanted to make a comment. We wanted it to be sort of true to the sort of stylistic and thematic nature of the costumes in the book. And some are exactly as they are, like Rorschach's costume, of course, is exactly as it is. The comedian's pretty freaking close. Dan's is different, but again, like, you can't do, I don't think you literally cannot do, you think that they're saying Batman ripoff now, if you had seen him in like spandex pajamas with underwear outside of his pants, you can bet that what they'd be saying, what the unwashed masses would be saying, So, it's a fine line. Although, I wanted, because I want people to say, like, that's like Batman. That guy's like Batman. I mean, that's part of it.
That's part of the story.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to make that connection in order for it to be deeper.
Probably the most significant tweaks done to the costume is Ozymandias. He's no longer as bright and colourful as he was. Was that...
Yeah, maybe that's just my personal taste, but, in the graphic novel, he wears like a gold leotard and a purple tunic, and, he does have a cape, purple cape, which we kept, and a gold little olive branch. So there are elements of the costume that are the same. Egyptian theme, we try to keep that. So, I don't know, Ozzy was hard, but I mean, I think that, again, it's like the body aesthetic, which is consistent with his. We try to like go into his character and say, like, what would he do? What would Ozzy do? And I think that, I personally think it's a super fun costume because it says so much about Watchmen and cinema and everything. It's like it's loaded. So I don't know. I think it was good. It's been fun working on it.
Now, we had the distinct pleasure of looking at some footage that you showed us earlier today from the movie, and it has what I would call your signature stamp on it, and that is that very slow, ballet-like choreographed slow motion kind of stuff shot with the high-speed cameras. Why... Well, I guess what I'm asking is, why do you like to show things like we saw it a lot in 300?
Yeah, and I would say that maybe the impression of it is probably more than there actually is in Watchmen. I think that there's a couple shots. I try to keep it to a minimum, but I'm a bit of an action geek, so I can't. When I see something, I want to see it. So it's
so it's just about wanting to fill that.
And also, I just feel like I personally am against, and it's just my aesthetic. Like I don't like that kind of.
The frenetic, fast
I want to see I love the choreography, and I want to know what the guys are doing.
So not a Michael Bay fan.
Yeah, I mean, look, Michael's, he and I went to school together, but
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
You have different artistic outlooks
exactly.
on life.
I think that's just it, and that's what makes the world go round.
You've on a lot of the effects through the behind the scenes feature we've seen, you've gone old school for a lot of it, using miniatures and practical effects and real stuntmen set on fire and all that sort of stuff instead of resorting to the CG. Is that something you feel strongly about, that using only CG when you absolutely have to?
Well, I just feel like the world is so huge that we created that, like, there's elements in it that are real, and I think that's just fun. I think it just sort of speaks to the sort of opera that is Watchmen, to have, like, people really on fire or, exploding, the shooting some blood cannons at the roof, when Manhattan kills the guys, there's...
Oh, I got to tell you, folks, that looked really impressive. That looked so awesome.
Cool.
And Manhattan just blew the people up.
Yeah.
That's going to drop some jaws, I think.
That's how he rolls.
And now the kingdom comes.
Casting is interesting. You've decided not to sort of go for the biggest names, the names that sort of they staple on posters to sell movies and stuff, which I always appreciate, because it means you're making the best choice for the character as opposed to the best choice for the marketing.
Yeah, that's what we try to do.
Did you spend a lot of time figuring out the casting?
Yeah, no, I mean, I met with a lot of guys, but I think the truth is, I really feel like I ended up with the best people for the parts, I mean, like Billy as Manhattan is amazing. Jackie is Rorschach. I mean, he's...
When the reactions to the trailer and stuff, when that voice comes on,
and
everyone's like, that's the Rorschach.
It's funny too, because also in the new trailer that's coming out, it's a lot of Jackie. It's a lot of Rorschach. So I think that people get a nice little dose of Rorschach in the new trailer.
And the mask was something a lot of people worried about as well. But in the footage I saw today, it looked really, really good. How much time did you spend sort of figuring that out?
It's been a lot of work. It's funny because it's like it's boiling in every shot in the movie, so it's a huge visual effects freak out. And but they've done a really great job. They've really done a great job.